Did you go to the school today? Did it make more sense?
We can't hear you, Edward. If you're talking to us, we can't hear you.
My bad. I was talking to myself. No, as I was saying, yeah, about networking, you don't have to master everything right now, like the way you master like user ad and all that kind of thing. Networking is going to be an ongoing learning process, basically. Okay, so you're not going to know everything right now, but we just want you to know the basic, how to move around, how to like troubleshoot and all that kind of thing. Okay. It's not
Yeah.
like you're going to master if they give you a server that is not working, you're going to master how to troubleshoot it and find a solution. No, is deeper than that. Okay. So we're just going to give you an idea about like the basic stuff right now. And from there, you're just going to keep on practicing and we're going to keep on going into like packages later on and how to set up your network and all that kind of thing. Like for example, today we might do like a practice, for example. I might go to somebody's server, for example, and delete the IP address. Okay. And it's up to you to get into that server and what do you call it? Configure your IP address, add your IP address. We can mess up like your DNX name, for example. How do you go in there and fix the DNX name, for example? Okay. Those kind of little stuff, basically. That's what we want you to like just master for right now. Okay. The rest is going to come with you reading along. Okay. So don't get too stressed out about that. And that being said, I'm not advertising this book, but you have a lot of document and you have a lot of information in this book, for example. That's something that I'm using myself. Okay. Like just get like some documentation, like maybe you can go on the website and like download like application that talk about Linux. Okay. Like you got Udemy, for example. Those are like websites that you can go to and just get like learnings. And I think you got Server Info. That's another website where you can go and they have little projects that you can keep on doing. Don't just depend on this class alone. There's a lot of things that you can cover that we can't even like go through by in the class. So please do your own research. That being said, last week I said that, you know, now when we come to class, somebody has to tell us about something new that they learned that we didn't do in class. So I think this is the time right now for you to shine. So, hi there. Can you tell us about something that you learned, that's something new?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one.
I know.
Mhm. Something that we haven't covered in the class and maybe during your learning process, you
Something new.
classmates, you find out.
Let's see, hold on. Gotta go through my notes.
No, take your time, go to your notes.
What is it? Um, no, I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
But it was something in regards to actually learned something new yesterday. It was in regards to rebooting and what run level you should be in,
Uh-huh.
which should be, I think it was run level 1. Was that right, Mike? I think it was run level 1, and
No,
that
you gotta, Mhm. Yeah. Okay.
you
Mhm.
yes, before you reboot your machine, you need to be on run level 1.
Just reboot your machine. To reboot your machine, you have to be on run
Well,
level one.
reboot the server. Yeah.
Why do you have to be on run level one to reboot it? Huh?
People can't interfere with this.
Yeah, preventing unauthorized access.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. So that is something new.
Okay. So when somebody's doing a patch or something, you have to be on run level one. But usually, yeah, when they do the patching, okay, they make sure that they send out an email to everyone that, you know what, from this time to this time, we're going to be doing patching. So nobody's supposed to be on that machine anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like for maintenance. So then we
Oh,
just
so
set
it's
up
just
the
like a
time
heads up,
at
like
this-
this is going to be down.
Exactly.
Okay.
That we're going to be doing this at this time, so nobody should be able to be logged in at that time. So, okay, because nobody can do like something like a patch in the middle of a day, in case something happens and something breaks. Okay, so they usually gives the heads up, but that's something good also, in case they forget to like give a heads up. Okay, all right. Maybe what do you learn new? Huh? Like what? Like what? What is the slide? What is the slide T for? What is the slide T for? Okay, so 1 second here, we're gonna try it, okay? Because the best thing about Linux is trying, believing.
We couldn't hear what he said. We couldn't hear what was said. What?
Yeah, because I'm coming with. So KB is saying that we have a command, a flag. Okay, so tree dash T P. Okay. Okay. So if you do, for example, tree dash P, that gives you the permission of all the file and directory in that tree right there, in that subdirectory. You see? So that's something new. Okay. So at least we know this one, tree dash P, and we give you all the permission. So let's say, for example, if you're changing like ownership or recursively, for example, changing your permission like recursively, you can just do tree dash P and see everything if everything was changed. That's one way of checking it. Thank you, KB. Okay, we learned something. All right. I'm not going to put anybody on the spot, but anybody, can you tell us something that you learned? Amir. How to update your VM? So you're saying how to update his VM, a terminal? So, okay, yeah. So Yum updates. That's why. Basically, that will just basically update everything. Basically, yeah. Huh? Okay. So that's this is going to come up in the future chapters. But if you do Yum updates, that's why that will update all the packages, whatever you have in your system. Okay. That's one good thing also. All right. We're going to take 2 more and we're going to move on. All right. Any volunteer?
I learned it wasn't okay, I learned it, but I'm still learning it. It was like the binary numbers. I noticed oh my God, I can't think of it. It's like I know it's 5 something, two other numbers. I'm not looking at my notes.
255.
Okay,
Right here.
255 equals 8. And
Yes.
that's one set. So 255 again equals 16, and so forth and so forth.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. So when we're setting up our net mask, we have like 255. There's 255 and 255. And I think Rob is going to go over there, the number? Yeah. Okay, so Rob is going to go over the number and how to get like your net max and all that kind of thing later on, okay? But this one right here is like a 32, okay? Why? Because you have 8, 8, 8, and 8, okay? So if they ask you for like, what is your net max, for example, okay? If you say 8, that means it's only 1255, okay? So 8 is equal to basically 255. Ron is gonna go over it just now. That's 0, that's 0. Let me just put it. That's 0, that's 0, that's 0, okay? Or if somebody says 6, I'm sorry? We're gonna go over it just now. Ron is gonna go over it because he mastered that one a little bit more than I do, so. And 16 is like 255, that's 255, that's 0, that's 0, okay? So in the class, I think we use a net max of, let's say 8. That's basically define how many IP address you can have on this net max right here, okay? And Rob is gonna help us with that one, okay? All right, that's good, Sierra. Anyone else? Anyone? Something new? You're supposed to. Hi. My man, JB.
You say me?
JB.
Be honest, I didn't look for anything new. I've been trying to just figure out
Okay.
everything that we've been doing.
I
No
found out
problem.
what run level 4 was for.
What is it for?
When I looked at some forums, they said that companies use it. They put like technology,
Yo, somebody.
like,
Okay.
systems on there.
No, I couldn't hear you.
Oh,
Amir was talking.
Oh my god.
I said that like companies put like machines on run level 4 to execute commands. Like printing presses and stuff like that. They put them on run level 4.
I mean, that's new because, okay. But like in an interview, I just make it simple, okay? I would rather you said run level 4 is unused, basically. Because right there, if it's a company use it for some other stuff, you're going to open like a big part that you can maybe master. So just use unused for now until you get more detail on it, okay? For interview purpose, please. Okay. Okay, one thing that I also learned also here is how to append the file. Okay, using Echo, for example. Okay, so let's say if I go to VR etc host. What is the etc host for? Exactly. Okay. So let's say if I wanted to add a mere, let's say, IP address to my X host, for example, and I don't want to VR into it, but I want to add it, being also on the command line. Okay. You can use the command echo. So for example, we look into here, yeah, we have KB IP address right now. Okay. But I want to append a mere IP address in here. One easy way that you can do it is just echo. What's the IP address? 15, that 32. Okay? And you can put the space or whatever you want to put it. Amir. Okay. Let's say that is what's your host name for your computer, your laptop? I mean your VM. And yeah, that DOG. No, it does. I mean, it does. It can be what you call it, really. But I mean, you want to follow the proper protocol, like when you get to your job or whatever, because you're not going to be the only person maybe working on that VM. Yeah. AMNEL1. Okay. So that is, and you can just put the column, and you can append into XE host. You can use cats and all that kind of thing, but you can also use, cats. Yeah, you can also use cat also, okay? But you can also use echo right here, okay? Whatever you want to put in that file right there and append. Use a double quotation, because if you use a single one, you're going to delete whatever you have previously in there. So please use a double quotation. So every time you want to append, just use a double quotation and just enter, okay? If you catch XE host right now, you got a mirror in there, okay? So if I'm paying, for example, whatever I call a mirror.
You're missing the P.
Oh yeah. I'm paying a mirror. You see? Okay. All right. So let's say in your configuration file, for example, what is the network? Yeah. What is the network configuration? What is one of the network configuration file where you can go to modify your IP address?
Resolve.
So XC system network script.
Okay. So somebody help me out. If I want to get into it, what BI?
Let's see. Sysconfig.
Sysconfig.
Yeah. Network script.
Network.
I have. Just hit double tap. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Okay. So this one right here, please, people, you just need to memorize this part right here. Okay? Just memorize it. Okay? Don't try to take any shortcuts. Just memorize it, because you're going to be working with this one a lot. When you're building your VM, or when there's an error troubleshooting, or that kind of thing. Okay? When we get to like the repository, which we might start it today, but let's say if you're doing a repository here, and your, what do you call it? Your DNS server is not properly like adjusted. You won't be able to download anything because you won't have access to basically the internet or that kind of thing. And you have to go and configure it. So this is something that every one of you just need to play with. And I think if we have time, we're just going to play with this one right here, where I will go in and basically I will just modify one of these. Okay? Like if you have a domain or like, so this is the netmax right here, the 255.255, but we just decided to put 8. If somebody go and you put netmax, you write netmax right there, and you put equal 255.0.0.0 is the same thing. Okay? All right. So you just need to have an idea of what you have inside here. Okay? And how to modify it basically. If you ever like go inside here and you make a change, okay? After you make a change, of course, you save it. And you want to restart your network, okay? For that change to take effect, okay? And somebody tell me, huh? Thank you, just to read my mind, but let me ask the question for everybody else. What's the command to restart a network or any service or any process?
Systemctl.
Systemctl restart that service, okay? If you're using CentOS 6, this one will also work service, network, restart for CentOS 6 for those who want to know. Service network restart. Okay, this will still work, but we want to use the CentOS 7, which is systemctl. Restart network. And sometimes with CentOS 7, there are certain services, they put that services at the end. And the more you do it, the more you're going to get familiar with it, okay?
So Edward, I have a question
That's it.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday I was trying to do that, and I kept typing in that command, and I just kept bringing up an empty file that said created by Anaconda.
What do you mean? You're trying to restart the network or what?
The VI part.
Sysconfig network scripts ISC ENS192. So like I kept trying.
What were you? What were you, like a regular user?
No, it's root. So I kept trying to do it. I even sent a thing to Rob about it. I was like, why do I keep getting a blank file? And then it started working.
No. If you get a blank file, yeah, I'm not trying to cut you off here. If you get a blank file, that means you made a mistake somewhere in like the naming. So for example, if I do VI exit, okay, and I do sys and I forget the S, for example, okay, and I do config, yeah, it's going to create an empty file with a different naming. Okay, so that's the reason why in this class we want to learn like the path and all that kind of thing. But in the future, just get used to using the tab key. Yeah, so you can avoid like those kind of mistakes.
But if you
Okay.
didn't make that error, is there another reason why there, like, you wouldn't show up anything? Like, it would just be blank?
You're a system admin. What would be another reason why you won't be able to see that file or modify it?
I don't know because I got it to work yesterday and I played around with it, but then I was trying to show it to.
Yeah, but I said the question is, what would be one reason why you won't be able to modify that file?
Because you're not a root user.
Okay, one, you're not a root user. Okay, so this is going to be like, let's say troubleshooting scenario. You're not the root user. Okay, what about that configurator file right there? This file, for example. Let me, what am I doing? Okay, I'm going to see the inside so we can see that file. So we're talking about this file right here. This first file right here. Okay. So let's say, what would be one reason why you wouldn't be able to modify or edit this file? Huh?
Have permission.
Permissions.
Oh, you don't have permission? Okay. Or let's say somebody changed the attributes on that file also.
Oh, you want to set FICO?
No. For example, let's say, for example, yeah, if this file right here, you do change attributes. We went over this one. That's I, and you put that file name. Nobody will be able to modify that file, for example. So you have to. You have a lot of reasons why you wouldn't be able to modify that file. There's no one reason, basically, like, oh, this is one reason why you won't modify it. That's the reason why you're a system admin. Issue will come to you, and you will try to find out, why can't I do this? Maybe you don't have permission. Maybe the path that you're writing is the wrong path. Maybe they change the attribute on that file. Maybe there's a lot of things. Okay? Or even, for example, there's a way you can also shut down that NIC card, basically. Okay? You don't want to do it, but if you do if down, and you put the name of the NIC card, RCFG, okay? That will shut down that NIC card, basically. Like, we'll turn it off. Okay? And if you want to bring it up, you will do if app, and you put the NIC card name, IFCFG, EN, You see, right here, I was doing tab and it wasn't working, so I knew something was maybe wrong. Okay, and this will bring down NICAR up again. So you can shut it down and you can bring it up basically. And to shut it down is the if down. That's if I'm in that directory that contain that file. Okay, otherwise you can use the absolute purpose. I will just do this one right here and the NICAR name basically to shut it down. To bring it up, if up, we also bring it up. Are we good? Anybody's confused so far? You confused? Yeah. Yeah. So, so if down, basically, we shut down that NICAR, that file basically. And if up, we just reboot it basically. Huh? If down, you will have access. Basically, your network will shut down basically. Yeah, if you do if down, you shut down your network. Okay. So you need to know the path, okay, and the file, and how to modify it basically. Okay. And I was saying earlier, like in the beginning of the class, you have documentation that you can just like use to practice and give you like more detail on network or anything basically. Like Udemy, you have a lot of websites out there. You have YouTube, you have Google, just like everyone else. Okay. And the beginning of the school year also, those are the kind of things that we used to have. Like when I was taking the class, I wasn't just depending on the teacher alone. I have like Linux command that this one will just give you all the different commands basically, like the basic command. Like this one will give you command for, let's say, finding file, FTP, archiving, permission, like VI, like Linux file system, like storage management. Those kind of things will give you all the information. Not all of them, but some of them basically. Okay? All right. So we're gonna go over like network for a little bit again. Okay? And like there's some of the command that we can go through. Okay? Does anybody have any questions so far about networking before we move forward?
Oh, I mean, what bar are we going over?
Okay, where we at right now on networking? So is it,
We can't hear you though. Can you speak up a little bit, please? Hello?
He said, where are we at right now?
We're still doing networking basically, but we're gonna go over like everything that we went over quickly. Yeah, to just get people like a little bit of a better idea, and we're going to go over like the math part.
Can we go over A record and PTR record?
No, that's another chapter.
That's chapter 8, actually.
Huh?
That's actually chapter 8.
No, it's not. That's DNS.
Chapter, I mean.
yeah,
On the homework.
Okay, people, you can come and teach this class, but we're gonna do A record and PTR record on when you get to DNS. Okay? What's it wrong? What's it wrong?
Linux innovation. You go up to Linux, go to Linux documentation, go in there. The very first do that one. It should be in Linux innovation, chapter 8. Yeah. And we're going
homework
to.
and ask why it's important, and we're trying to figure it out.
The first one.
But I just said it, man. Mike, I said we're gonna go over like A record and PTR record in chapter, like DNS chapter. Can we just leave it like that and just move in? If you want to learn about it, you have Google.
Ed, he's saying it's on the homework, and that's why he's asking.
And it's on chapter 8.
Okay. We'll put it on this one right here.
Yeah, open that one. Okay, open out that one, go back. It has like Ron notes on it. The one right before, top one. This one right here. This one we want. If you go from the top bottom, and you go.
But we did all this already though. What haven't we done here?
Keep going. The number, the 8 number.
Yeah, but this one is Ron. No, that's the reason why it's confusion to the class right now, because Ron is his personal note, and he put the A record inside.
Oh, yeah, I can.
That's the reason why, because we're not supposed to be doing A record right now.
Teach the points you want to teach. That's fine, but when we get to TCP, UDP, and the classes, I can explain that part. But when you get to your part, that's fine. This part, I can explain.
People, I'm sorry about that one, okay? This note that we're looking at right now, that's a teacher personal note that is shared with us, okay? And in his personal note, he put like the A record and all that kind of thing. But normally, when we look at the A record, not to get everybody confused, is on the chapter where we talk about the DNS, okay? So this is maybe another teacher who made a homework and all that kind of thing. But if you look at like, what do you call it? The chapter on networking, chapter 8, the second file, it says Ron, like this one right here that I'm showing y'all.
You're not sharing.
So 8.1 is what you're saying? And 8.2?
Yeah. Okay. That's a teacher personal notes. And that's the reason why this one right here, that's another teacher personal notes. And that's the reason why that teacher put like the PTR, and you can see it right here. He highlighted for a reason why. Okay. But this one right here is like on chapter, like I think chapter 17 and everything. Yeah. But if you want to learn about it now, you can learn it, but I don't want you to take a class time to go through this one. Okay? Who put it in the homework?
Yeah, it's homework number 50. It asks what's the importance of it.
Okay. We'll look it up, okay? Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know it was in the homework, but this is a totally different chapter right now. Okay? Yeah, it's a different chapter, like the A record and the PTR record. That's when we get to DNS, then we're going to go through. Okay? All right. And everything that we're doing right now, we just went over this one already, okay? We're just going to go over, okay? And this documentation is mainly for like CentOS 6. So there's a little bit of changes, and I will just try to point out those changes, okay? Okay. All right. So here, basically, you should be able to edit like what we call it your NIC card, okay? Your NIC card. What is a NIC card? What's the definition of it? Network interface card, basically. Okay. And can somebody tell me what's the path to that NIC card?
That's the etc sysconfig network script and the network adapter. So if config and the
exactly. Thank you. So it's basically this is it right here. And we're going over this one, but I'm still going over it. Okay. This is it right here. Okay. So et/etc sysconfig networks that script and the network interface name basically. Okay. That's the kind of thing that you need to memorize and how to go inside here and make changes to your config to that file basically. Okay. So this is one way. And we talked about another way to be able to modify those information, this same information. What's another way of doing it? No, not Shemad. There's also.
And you're trying to go under GUI?
NMC.
Yeah, you're trying to go like on the. Thank you for making it more specific. Like you want to do it like on the GUI side of it.
And NMTUI.
NMTUI. Thank you. Okay. So NMTUI will take you to a configuration like this where you can go and modify it. Okay. So NMTUI, you modify it. You want to make sure you activate that thing and boom, that's it. Okay. You can also do it on the command line. Okay. Which one is the command line? And I made a mistake last time with what's the name, Gresham, and I was like, and then NMTCLI, no, NM, okay. So basically, yeah, when you see the NM, what does it stand for? Basically, is Network Manager. Okay, so the easy way to remember Network Manager test user interface and Network Manager command line interface. And you can just go there and do all the configuration that you have to do, basically. It's exactly the same thing. NMTUI, okay? Exactly the same thing, okay? Right here. The NM is Network Manager, basically, okay? Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't like using the Network Manager. Why? Because the Network Manager can be turned off. Okay, it's a package that you really have to have. Okay, so I like doing it this way right here, going on the command line. Okay, so going to the command line is the best way to do it, basically. You can't use cat to edit the file. Okay, all right. So one command, like for you to find your host name, basically. Okay, so you want to find your host name, okay? The command is just type in host name and it will give you like your host name, basically, okay? You want to change your host name, you have several ways of doing it, okay? But let's just do it this one way. I mean, okay? One way to change your host name. Let's say you set up your host name and you're like, no, I like this name, I want to change your host name. You can do host name. And we went to this one already, but we're just going to CTL, set dash host name, and the name that you want to select. Okay? So this is the command right here. That will change your host name. Okay? So this one right here, and you put the host name. I can put like this class, for example. My host name. I type in enter, okay? You're going to see that the host name hasn't changed yet over here. It's still the same host name. Why? Because this is going to take effect when you reboot your system, basically, okay? But regardless, if you type host name, it's going to tell you what's the current name of that host name. But in order for you to change it, in order for you to see the change right here, you have to reboot it, basically. Are we good? No. So this one right here, you just have to literally reboot your system, okay? Yeah. The system's CTL, network won't reboot it. Won't start this one right here. Okay. There's another way you can also do this one right here. Just reboot it. Okay. Another way to check if you do the NMTUI right here, you see right here, right here, it tells you can also check your host name, basically. Okay. So the only way you can get familiar with all this and master it is just you to just go and change your host name from time to time, just play with it so you can memorize the concept of it. Okay? No, don't find the easiest way. Just find one way that is okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. We went to what do you call it? Ping. What is ping for? The ping command. Anyone?
See if your VM is up or down.
What?
Check if the server is up or down.
Yeah.
Down, but Martha said.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You check if the server is up or down.
Exactly. So the ping command is to test a network connection between two or more hosts, basically. So it's to test a connection between two or more hosts. So if I want to check a connection between my server and a server, I would just do a ping command, basically. Okay. So that's the reason why. Who can tell me, like, in what case we use the ping command, for example?
If you're checking if your server is down in a at work or something like that, so you just ping the IP or the host name to see if it actually gives you a response back.
Exactly. So, for example, you're trying to access a server, for example. Okay, it can be another application or whatever. Okay, and you're trying to SSH into it and be like, no routes. Did you all get it before? Where you say no routes and all that kind of thing, Route 22. Yeah. So one thing that you want to make sure that server is up. Okay. So let's say if KB cannot get into a server, for example, she's like, man, I don't know what's going on with my server. I can't get into it. One thing you can do, you're like, KB, what's your IP address? And you're like 10.1.15.38. Okay. And you will ping it. And be like, oh, why can't you get in your server? Yeah, the server is up right now. You should be able to get into your server. Okay. But let's say this server is up, but she still can't get into it. What's the next thing that you would just look into?
Trace route?
I'm sorry?
Was it trace route? The IP?
Yeah, let's say the IP is correct and everything, and the server is on.
What was trace route?
Fresh, you said trace route, to trace route.
Yeah, but this is like a server, like a local server that we have here. But you also want to check, like, if KB is trying to SSH into a server, for example, and it's not working, you can check like the ports on that server to make sure that port is open.
Right.
Telnet.
Okay.
Daddy, John.
I'm sorry?
Would it be Telnet?
If we tell Telnet to make sure that port is accessible to KB server, basically. Telnet 10.1.15.38 port. What's the port for SSH? 22. So we're going to go over those ports. Okay. And he says, okay, yeah, your port is open. Okay. So those are like little troubleshooting tool that we have, basically, like ping, like Telnet, and all that kind of thing. Okay.
That's the trouble.
Yeah.
How would you know when to which port to check or what port to access?
That's a good question. He's saying, how will you check what ports to check, or okay? So like the service like SSH, like the port for SSH by default is 22. And we're gonna give you like a list of like a basic port, like some of the port that you need to memorize basically. So you have to memorize those ports. So if somebody's telling you like Apache, you will know automatically that Apache is 480. Okay. Somebody's talking about DNS, you're gonna be like, oh, 53. If somebody's talking about NTP, you're gonna be like, it's 123. Okay. So we're gonna give you a list of ports that you're gonna memorize basically. Okay. Apache is 80 and 443, but we're just gonna give you a listing, okay?
First page of chapter 8, you're gonna find that.
Okay. Wow. And let's say you're in your server, okay? And you want to, we're just doing chapter 8 all over again, basically, okay? Okay. Let's say you want to find out your IP address. What's the command for it? You can do ifconfig, okay? And ifconfig will display your IP address right here. Okay, that's one way of doing it.
IP address show.
IP address show. Okay, and that will also display your IP address in the second line right here. Where am I?
You said this is to display your IP address.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically display IP address right here, IP address show, and it give you like a little bit of information about your IP address, your next mile, your LAN. net mask, okay, right here. Next to it, it will show you your net mask right here. Okay. Also, you have also another. So these, like for this software, there's several ways of doing certain things. So I'm repeating certain thing over and over and over again in different ways of doing it, basically. Like if config, IP address show, IP, for example, all these things do the same thing, basically. Okay? They're all doing basically the same thing. Okay? Right. We went to like Netstar, for example. Okay? What is Netstar for? Exactly. Listen to open port, basically. Okay? So if you do Netstar, let me go down right here. If I do Netstar, that's AT, for example. What kind of port do I want to listen to? We went over this one last time.
What was it?
So this one is basically you want to go to like only TCP ports. Okay?
The other one is UDP packet.
And it will list like all the TCP ports that is listening to right here. Okay? If I want to do like UDP ports,
like AU.
Exactly, AU, and this will list all the UDP ports. Okay? So there's a lot of combination of flags, that kind of thing to just go through it. Okay? To listen to, we are like TULPN, for example.
Listen. What was the in article? Was that the school active connection?
What is it?
Let's set flag in R.
For the routes. Okay. So
The routing changes.
yeah, just do man Netstar.
I want to not have it. I just want to make sure.
Okay. But if you want to make sure, just do man Netstar and just go through all the different flags and all that kind of thing. So basically, this one will show you. So if you go to man, because one person cannot know all these, man Netstar. Okay. It will give you all the different flags. So just to go and play with all the different combination of flag, you're not going to mess up your computer right here. Okay. Netstar.g. Okay. One person is not going to memorize all these. Okay. So the basic one, just know the basic one basically. Okay. Netstar-n basically, I don't know what it does, show numeric addresses and sort of trying to determine symbolic hosts. Okay. So if I do that's n, for example. Okay, it just gave me all the different ports. Okay. So just play with all the different commands. You have an idea of what Netstar does. You have an idea of what Telnet. Okay. So if this is your time now to do a little bit of research on it, just keep on playing with them. Okay. Netstar, Telnet, and all that kind of thing. There's also this command also that I'm thinking, NSLOOKUP, okay? So NSLOOKUP basically is to look up host name, okay? So if I do NSLOOKUP, CNN.com basically. Okay, so this one will basically look at the host name and it will give you like the IP address for CNN, basically. We just look up host name and IP addresses, basically. Okay? So if somebody give you like an IP address, for example, for CNN IP address, like, oh, this is, you'll be like, so what is, okay? Let's say, for example, if somebody give you this number right here.
That's CNN or CNN?
Oh, CNN, I meant to put CNN. But let's say CNN.
That's not what that's the China.
Yeah. CNN, for example. Okay. So if somebody give you like this IP address right here. I'm gonna copy this one. Okay. And that person is like, oh, what is that IP address for? And let's look up and they just put the IP address in and it will tell you, oh, this is CNN. Oh, the domain is not set up here. That's the reason why. Okay. Yeah. This is not set up, like the reverse domain is not set up. But if you do the IP, if you do like the host name, it will tell you. But normally if the reverse domain was set up, you can put the IP address and it will tell you what's the name of the host, basically. Okay. So CNN or ABC.com, because I'm having a problem with CNN. ABC will give you the IP address, basically. Okay. So NS Lookup, for example.
So you don't even have to be a root user of abc.com. So you have to.
There's certain command. I mean, I've never used this one. Let's say we can switch user. That's E. Nicole. Dobby is asking if you have to be a root user, for example. I've never tried it.
I'm meant for ABC. Can you put abc.com like? And then I thought like ABC will have like their own private system.
No, but we're trying to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to look it up, the IP address, basically, what it is.
Did you do it? So it's all
Okay.
It's all public.
No, yeah, it's all public. Yeah, yeah. Like Facebook, for example.
But I thought you guys said your IP address is like a social security number. If somebody get it, they can use it.
No, but you identify who you are. That's that in that term, basically. It's not something like that so private that you're not gonna know. You just identify that this IP address right here is only for you, like a unique number to you. That's the reason we use Social Security, basically.
So you can use IP. You can use IP address to like do some, let's say, criminal stuff. Can you do that?
Yeah. You can use the CNN to do some criminal stuff, whatever you want to do.
But when they trace it back to CNN.
Yeah, we trace it exactly.
Oh, that's one. Okay. I see.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So because we're doing right now, because we're doing like troubleshooting command, all that kind of thing. If you look at over here also, you talk about dig. Okay. So dig is just to query like DNS information for a host or IP address, basically. Okay. And this one we're going to see that in the DNS chapter. Okay. But the reason why we're talking about it is just like a troubleshooting like tool, basically. So dig CNN.com, for example. Okay. And it just give you like a DNS information about that host, basically. Okay. All right. We went through UDP and TCP.
Yeah.
Okay. What is TCP? Two-way handshake. Okay. And UDP is just like a one-way handshake, basically. Which exactly.
You know the words?
Like the
Three-way handshake, yeah, 3 words. Yeah, I got this.
like this what Rob is talking about is like send or sync, acknowledge, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, but those are the words I'm referring to. But that's.
Oh, you're talking about the send, the sync, and the acknowledgement?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So send, acknowledge that you received the packet that I'm looking for, and you send me the information, basically. Okay. So like let's say going on online for me, going to CNN, for example, that use like a two-way handshake. You send the information, CNN receive the information, and they send you whatever image that you're looking for, basically. Okay? Yeah, so that's like a two-way handshake, basically.
So, like you searching for something.
Yeah, 1 second.
Like you type something in the search bar to get information, and it sends you back the information.
Exactly. So,
No, I was just gonna say, what about those emails you get, like when you fill out something and then they say don't do not reply? Is that a confirmation? Is it?
No.
It's a little different.
It's a little different.
It's easier. Oh, let me, you get what I'm saying.
Okay, so to explain TCP, you get it. You get what TCP means. So you actually, there was an example in class saying, when you go and you send an email and you get an email back saying, please don't respond to this message, that's a little different because it's only one way. TCP needs two. It needs two people to actually record and say, all right, I send you a message. You send me a message sending that you got the message. Then you go and actually send me a new message. And then I tell you I received the message. That's what that picture means. Right, so when you see that text message, so Apple, so the example like we said in class here with Mir, will be an Apple text message. When you're gonna send somebody a text message with Apple, then you can go and see if it was like received or seen or something like that. So then once they say received or seen, they can either respond back to you or not, I mean, whatever. And then that would be the confirmation that they received the message and they gave you another message back. That's what TCP would mean.
Okay. All right. So we should go. We should be good. We should be good on TCP and UDP. Okay. Or does anybody have any question? Okay. And you also have like trace routes. We went through it last time also. Okay. It's like with different steps that you take to get to your destination, basically. Okay. And I say it was.
Computers around the world, like for trace route. You talking about the 8? There's only 8 supercomputers? Yeah, in the whole world. And they have to go trace route, basically the route tracing how to get from your actual computer to the website. So basically it pings off of those networks to get to your website. And when you use trace route, it shows you the route it took to get from like McDonald's.com or ESPN.com to your actual computer.
So can a one supercomputer SSH to another one?
It can, yes.
And like they send, can they also like rsync files?
They also can, yes, but it's gonna take a long time because the file in a supercomputer has everyone's information in it. Yeah. And we're 8 in the world, like literally around
That's
the
wild.
whole world. Remember when you did it?
Yeah.
America? No, not just America, but the world, everywhere, like the whole world. Like
Okay. Yeah. So basically right here, yeah. No, that's the max.
You gotta explain what that means.
Right. Like the different hops that you go through.
Correct.
Yeah.
Cody was asking the question, so I was like, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. So basically right there, you can see like how many hops that it goes through. And I don't know why it's not showing like in my computer, but if you do it, it will tell you like the different steps, the different hops, or maybe like server that it connects to before going to that destination, basically. So if you do trace right now, CNN, all of in the class, I think we should most likely get the same hops, basically. So can you try it and tell me like how many hops do you get?
My thing logged me on.
Yeah, you should be able to log in.
I get the same message you got.
Okay, yeah. So maybe we're like in the same area, maybe that's the reason why.
Hey,
but you get the same, basically hops messages.
Hey, hold on one second. The people online, do you understand what those hops mean?
No.
No.
All right. I explained it because I explained it in class. I forgot to turn the mic on. So basically, I think there's 8 supercomputers in the world. So with that being said, that supercomputer is going to go and have a route to the information that you want to get to. So in order for it to get to ESPN.com, it took them 30 hops, 30 pings to get to your actual server. So that's what the hops mean. They have to hop from place to place to actually get to your server.
You mean?
And the reason they do that is because they have to go through a secure network. Then it has to go through the different places within the world. Then it has to go through our network here at MTS and then get to you. So those are what the hops mean. They're hopping different networks. Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. With the, I mean, depending on where you are and where's it going, basically.
Oh, maybe it's because I'm here.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh,
Maybe. Okay. Yeah. All right. So basically, we're just going to give you like some like, let's say, basic ports that you just need to know. Okay. You don't have to know the service, nor that kind of thing, because most of these services we're going to go through them. Okay. But just try to memorize these ports for now on. Okay. So you have SSH. Okay. And it's port 22. You have SMTP. That's for like a mail server, basically. That's 25. I'm going to double check on this too, but yeah, that's 25. You have HTTP. That's the same thing as Apache, okay? Like a web server. That's 80, okay? But you have Apache web server that is like secure. That's 443, okay? So the difference between these two right here, this is not secure and this is secure, basically. Yeah, so you just have to memorize them accordingly. 80, 443. You have to memorize this stuff, okay? Because tomorrow, when we're going to set up those servers, services for, let's say, HTTPD or HTTP, you're going to have to set up and open the ports and all that kind of thing. So you have to memorize those. You're not going to be like, oh, what's the port for HTTP? Okay? That's something that you have to memorize, basically.
And the port will get more in-depth in DNS. Right now, we're getting into the,
yeah. Okay. So most of them we're going to go through when we start installing packages and all that kind of thing. Like we will set up an NTP. It's like a network time protocol. So synchronizes time on different like network, basically. So let's say if I'm in Africa, I'm in Europe, and working on a project, okay? We can just synchronize the time. So let's say we want to schedule a job, for example. We can synchronize the time that we are on the same time zone. So let's say if we have a meeting or we want this updates or patch to take time at midnight, it's going to take midnight on all of them on the same servers, basically. So you synchronize the time on different locations, on different servers, basically. Okay? FTP, we're going to go over that one. File time protocol, okay? It's port 21, okay? Telnet, we just looked at it just now. It's port 28. LDAP, 389. Tomcat is a web server, 8080, okay? DHCP 67. SMP, I don't know what that one is, but rsync is 789, 7873. Okay. Basically, I just want you to memorize from till Telnet, basically. And Tomcat, this can be an interview question or that kind of thing, but the one that we're going to work with, stop right here. So everything on top and everything right here, we're going to work on those. Okay. But these ones, you can just learn them at your own leisure also. And you have a lot of ports. So let's say, for example, if you go to Google and you type in port number in Linux, okay? There used to be like a documentation that I used to print out back in the days that used to have like a checklist and show you all the different ports, basically. No, this is not it. There was like a port cheat sheet. Let me see. Yeah, you have something like this right here. Basically, I give you all the common ports. You have a lot of those. So what I used to do, like during class, I used to print this one out and I used to walk around with it. Just trying to memorize as many ports as possible. Okay? So you're looking at this one right here, go to Google, print them out, do something extra, a little bit extra. Okay? So you have a lot of ports. Okay? In the school, we're not going to teach you all these ports. So don't be like, oh, Edward, what's 45001? I don't know. Okay? Yeah, because I'm not going to be sitting here memorizing all this stuff. But you can just like, you need a job right now. Anything can come out in the interview. Anything. So you just want to just do a little bit extra for yourself. All right? Where was I? Okay, so Robert is going to go through like the number and the calculation of the IP addresses. Let me see, Robert, let me get you set up. Yeah, right here, where we talk about IP addresses, like the 3 main IP addresses and subnet and classes and everything. Okay, Robert. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Huh?
I get that's her number in there. I'm about to go in. I was gonna help her with her VM, but I'm about to teach and I'll help her afterwards.
What you wanna do?
She's trying to get into Open Project and her putty. So if you don't have to deal with it now, I'll take care of it later. Just leave that joint.
I'm just saying, like,
Hey, just leave it. I'll take care of it later.
yeah.
All right, can y'all hear and see me on there? I can't hear him.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, bad. Okay, cool. Perfect. All right. All right, so basically when you have an IP address, just like how you made with your own computers, your own VMs, there's different levels on each VM that talk to one another. As you go to each level that talks to one another, they can only talk downward. They can't talk above the next person. The reason being, it's not going to make sense. Prime example, class A is 255.0.0.0, which has a prefix of 8. The reason being is because of this equation right here. So once you go here, you see the 128, the 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and 1. These are called octets. An octet meaning the prefix oct means 8. So the reason being, when you add all of these things together, the 1, the 2, the 4, the 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128, they equal 255, my bad. All right. So when you have each octet, that is going to dictate how secure your VM is. All right. So the thing here is we are on class B, meaning 16, the 255.255.0.0. So basically, if you were to go to system network scripts or system network, and you will go into this file, let me go pull this up. Is it up here, I think? Yeah. That's what you see right here, the net mask. You see the net mask right here, it says 255, 255. Those two things mean 16, because each octet is full. They can be different numbers as well, but as the octets get bigger, that's how more secure the system is. All right, so if we're going down to class C, which has 3 octets full, of course, the most secure would be having all of them full, which would make what? What's 8 times 4? 32. All right. So going and doing this, we're going to get to like the A records and everything. I know it's on the homework, but as time goes on, we're trying to basically bridge a gap between this teaching model as well as what's going on for 7 and 6, because 7 move a little faster than 6. That's why you're going to see something different than the homework compared to what we teach them. All right. Let's see what we have here. All right. Another example that we have here before I get into actual command line version. All right. So usually IPv4 has 32 bits, and then IVP6 has 128. IVP4 usually is for communication, and then IVP6 is the most recent version. The reason they updated is because IVP4 it's running out of space. Doesn't have enough time or space to be able to logically put everyone on it. So they had to upgrade it, which means it goes up a different octet. That's why this 132, that's 128. Any questions before I go to like command line version and examples? No questions online?
No.
Was it? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like I can't hear anybody. I'm not gonna lie. I can't
I'm
hear any
good.
in class, obviously, yeah, but okay, we're good. All right, cool. All right. All right, so LAN versus WAN. All right. Every time you go, even into your own laptops or into your house networks, they have different network systems as well. So if you wanted to jailbreak your own house network, you can go into it, go into the system network config, go into that actual configuration file and change your network or your net mask up a level. That would actually give you more space at home. Given, because you know computers, you can do that, but I would advise you to do that at least until you finish the class. Just to keep it 100 with you, because it gets a lot easier after that. What's up? Question?
So you open space in your network, or like, where are you opening space on?
Gotcha. All right. You'll get more IP addresses. When you go and you get set up a network at your own house, your own Wi-Fi network, they put a net mask on your system. Every time somebody comes to your house and they like upload something when it comes to your network, your Wi-Fi, something like that, they see this. Because they see this, you're going to go and look at it and say, all right, they configure everything for you.
The super user see.
No, brother, the person coming to your house to actually do this stuff. All right. So Comcast, Verizon, they do this to your computer. Now you can either make your network either static, or you can go and make it, what was the other one? Right, DHCP. Difference between the two is one of them can be configured very easily because it's stagnant and it stays the same. One of them keeps changing. Most of the time, when you go to a business environment at work, they're going to have one or the other. They can have both depending on the environment. When I work with top secret stuff. So their stuff changes so no one can steal the information. But you have the key to get in there. Keys are basically electronic versions of keys to your house. There's a way that we're going to teach you with this class to actually make a virtual key to unlock your system. The key, it looks like your password. It's a long version of text that if you don't type it exactly right, they won't let you in. That's a little further up in the chapters, but I'm trying to bridge the gap between why it makes sense. Because most of this stuff it's easy once you internalize it, but understanding it is going to take time if you have no idea what it's for. So I just want to get to like the understanding in the back part. So when you go into work, this system right here, system config network, let me get over here real quick. Let me VI into that joint.
Yeah, do you put the //60?
You know the type GUI in the NIC card as well. If you do this, so maybe you put them in here like this. Nah, it's probably a I don't think it's cat. I think it's this one.
Yeah, what are you trying to do?
I'm actually trying to get to that blue screen that you said so we can go ahead and show.
Oh, is the new
Just take the slash off.
Yeah.
Dash
graphic card.
system dash config dash network. Yeah. Take the demo.
No, it doesn't. We tried that already. That was the very first command we tried. You see it? That was the first command we tried.
Okay.
But you can take the demo off?
Yeah.
But that was the first one I did.
This one right here, yeah, is for CentOS 6.
Why don't you just do NMTUI?
And then you are.
That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Because when you guys did it, it was on 6, right? When you guys took
We was on 6 when we did it, so this is like work stuff for me. All right. I'm not gonna do that just yet, but all right. I'll come like this one. Those make sense. This makes sense. I gotta get one of these. That's crazy. All right. 3-1 handshake we went through. Numbers we went through. Those make sense. Keys. I'm not gonna get into that one right now. All right. So basically, what I'll explain to y'all right now is it's a little further than the homework, but you don't have to worry about this now until we get to like later on down the road. These are basically how you create virtual keys in your system. A virtual key is basically how everybody has a car key, everybody has a house key. Preferably your car key. Car key is a lot easier. All right, your car key, if you have a car key and it's push to start, there is an actual code in your key that allows you to go to that car, which is why, like, say for example, you got a Maserati. You can't use that Maserati key to another Maserati because it's not programmed to it. But if you break the code to that key, you can also get into that car. Right, or jailbreak it too. So that's another way to do and actually identify these keys as well. Oh, okay. What's up?
So where is that? Go ahead.
We got 2 questions. Hold on, we got 2 questions in class. Go ahead. No, you up?
No, no.
Okay. Ace.
So you're saying there's a system, it's like a computer system that programs all these keys, right?
That's correct.
So if something happens to that system, would you be able to get into your car? You get what I'm saying? Like,
You'll be able to get in, you'll be able to get into your car, but you would have to actually do it the manual way, like break open the door and then get in there.
Okay, so pretty much all these cars right now, they're running on a system, and if that system gets messed up, we're gonna have to break into our cars. Because it's not manually like the way the cars used to be back in the day.
Well, I guess we're getting into that type. Okay, so
You get
The reason why,
what I'm saying.
the reason why you have SSH key, for example, is let's say, for example, I'm doing Ansible right now, okay? And you have to create a user that has access to all this machine, basically. Okay, so when I write a script.
Rob, can you ask Edward to say that closer to the mic?
got it. Any the explanation? It went closer to the mic. So basically that what you just said.
Okay.
We got 2 more things, then we just go over one question.
Okay. So the SSH key,
Did you call the girl?
one reason why.
Did you call the girl?
Hmm?
Did you call the girl?
Yeah, I called her. Yeah, I'll talk to her, but you can talk to her again because I need to send a message to Raul. What's his name? Sean. So you can reset or what do you call it, password for open project.
Okay.
Yeah. So the SSH key just allows you to get into a different VM without a password, basically. Okay. So let's say, for example, I'm just going to do an example quickly. Okay. If I do the command is SSH keygen, and I'm going to create a key for my machine. Okay. And that key, I'm going to put that key into, let's say, KB machine, basically. So I can access KB machine without a password, for example. Okay? So this is just like a key, and you take that key and you copy to KB machine, so you can access that machine without a key, basically. Okay.
So say if you're doing
So
an rsync, say if you're doing an rsync or copy, secure copy, instead of you using, like you going into sending something to KB's joint, you don't have to put in her password. It'll just go
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but that one is usually like a certain user that we set it up on. Like I'm doing Ansible, that's the reason I'm talking about it. I have created a user. So let's say I'm switching into user. I don't know if you can do it for root though, because root is like the main admin though. Okay. So I have this user right here. Oh. Jesus. Okay, so I log into this user and I SSH keygen, for example. Jesus. Keygen. And this is going to create a key for me, basically. Okay, so you create a key for me and I just go. If I don't want to just enter a password or anything, I will just enter, okay? And this created the key, okay? And now I want to copy that key into KB machine so I can have access to KB machine basically, okay? So I can do SSH copy ID. And what's your host name again? Oh, that would have been nicer if I had your host name. Yeah, I have a host name on my machine. Okay, that's a 10. Yeah, that's 1.15.38. I don't know if you're going to take. Okay, yes. And what's the password? Let's MTS 1234.
You can only do this for users on your VM.
What's your password?
At MTS KB Plus.
Capital M?
Yeah.
1 second there. T
At MTS KB Plus.
$KB class
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ed, it's asking for your password.
Yeah, I just put my password, MTS 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, let me see. MTS 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. MTS 1, 2, 3, 4. Pass. This is copy ID. That's 38. MTS 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, can we try your password? Come on. Put your password in there. 1 second here.
Want to change it?
Is it a capital M?
MTS 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the reason why MTS 1, 2, 3, 4 was the easy password.
Just change it.
MTS 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1 second. I think I know why also. Control C. When you're trying to do something and it doesn't work, you just hurt, man. I don't know if you do sudo, but
Fail to open ID file. This is the command right? Is that the right command?
yeah. Do you have a user? Do you have a user in your machine? What's the username? Create a user in your machine with a username.
You can use mine to search on one. It's just the local.
Add a user, create a user, give the password to the user.
Okay, Batman.
Which one?
Thanos.
Thanos. Who?
Thanos.
Thanos. Oh, don't do that. He don't know who that is. Give
No.
him something
All right,
simple.
from the project of.
Jesus. Why do you have to kill me, man?
I got a lot of users. I met a lot of users.
Then create a password for one
Create
user.
Superman.
Hold on.
Superman and give you a password.
KB, it's capital K and capital K, capital B.
Okay.
KB.
Oof. Capital K and capital B?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Is the host name right here?
Wow. What's he doing?
KB dot B. What's his host name?
Highlighted it.
People, 1 second here. We thought to make something simple, but it's becoming a pain on throw. I gotta look at it. So KB dot BUS
MANT.
MANT. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason it's not working. But basically, this is why it would just be basically.
My
So
IP address is 10.1.
no, we don't want to waste the time on this one. Huh? I got damn KB. Still failing anyway. I don't know what it is. Bustamante. Yeah, but this one right here, basically, yeah, that we just copy that SSH key to the other VM, basically. So whenever that user is trying to go to the other VM, you can just like SSH, like the way I'm SSH into KB machine right now, yeah. If I go to root again, okay. Like if I'm root right now, yeah, and I can, because KB is in my host file, I can SSH. I don't think it's going to let me do it, but it was just letting me do it on machine right here. KB. Okay. You see right here, it just asked me the password. But if I set up that SSH key, it wasn't going to ask me for a password, basically. I could just enter into it with no password, basically.
That's what I'm asking. Do they have to be a user on your machine to copy the key to them? Like,
what you need is the IP address.
Like, do they have to be a user on the machine?
You have to be a user, yeah, on the machine. Yeah.
Under your machine.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, this is the SSH key gen. Just with my server at home, I have a lot more flexibilities to do a lot of things. Here, Jerry just like disables certain features that we can't really use, basically, so we make it a little bit difficult. But just go to Google, basically, and look at SSH, how to create SSH key, basically. Okay?
You saying that would give you access without putting in the password?
Yeah, you can just like disable without putting the password and all that kind of thing. Okay? So this is it. We're gonna do like a little bit of assignment, okay? Well, I need to change my name again. But we're gonna do, oh no. We're gonna do a little bit of assignment. Okay? So basically, let's say I go to, are you done with the calculation and everything? You good? Okay, that was quick. Yeah. So let's say I will go to KB IP address or KB VM, for example. Okay. Okay. All right. And I will basically like disable like this config. I mean, yeah, looking at it though. I'm sure. And I will do it here.
Oh, you want me to tell you what it is?
Sysconfig network. Yeah. No, I just want to disable something quickly, and you can go in there and I'm not sure with numbers. So basically, yeah, this part right here on boot is basically like every time you start your system, you want your network to start on, to be on automatically. Okay? You remember when you created a VM and there was a part where you selected like a DVD and you went to the ISO and all that kind of thing, and I was like, make sure you click on connect. Yeah, some people didn't click connect, for example. Okay, and every time they're trying to get into maybe the VM and all that kind of thing, when you restart, you can't get into the SSH, for example. Okay, so this one right here, I just something very simple, for example, simple. Okay, this one right here, I want you to change it to 8. Okay, so this is supposed to be yes. Okay, I just want KB to go through this VM and go ahead and modify the changes. That's it. It's just a simple VI tool that you're using right there.
So you want everybody to VI into that?
No, I mean, I would want you to VI into it and just like look around and don't change anything like major, for example.
Yeah, your own stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna mess all the numbers. We gotta do that.
And just play with this one right here. This configuration file, just every morning, just whenever you're home, just write it down. Exit, sysconfig, you know, some people have it memorized already. Okay, Kevin, can you just come in here and just do it on what do you call it, on the command line?
What?
Come on. Yeah. So she's just going to do it, and I just want you to be able to practice with it, okay? Once you can master this one right here, this is just like a little part of it. There's a lot more that you're going to learn down the line, so.
I might end your line. And then see.
Change the previous day.
I thought you changed that to 8.
Yeah, don't change it to 8.
Change it to 8 or don't?
Yeah, 8, change it to 8. What is the VI command? Okay, that if you want to change something, you want to replace something, what's the command?
The
Well,
You want to replace something. Let's say you have 8, you want to replace it with 9. What's the command that you use in VI?
I'm gonna just delete it.
Huh? Yeah, something to do with R. Okay, so just no, not that one. You can do that one right there, but that's going to replace everything with the 8. But you just want to replace that 8 with 16, but you don't want to delete, not that kind of thing. You just want to replace it. All right. So let that be your homework.
So
Go ahead and
save
do
it?
it. Huh?
Save it at 8?
Leave it at 8. But you need to learn your VI, okay?
You want me to put mine at 8 too?
Yeah. Kevin, you don't done yet? Just download. We're gonna do an example here because I saw like there was a mistake on the configuration file, okay? Yum. Do it. Yum. Install. Why don't you just type
No,
it?
what is it? I think I already installed it.
Just go ahead, type it in.
All right.
Yum. Install. HTTP. HTTP. Yeah.
D?
Yeah. That's why.
Oh.
Okay. No, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. We're done on it. You're doing it. That's it. Yeah. Okay. It works. Okay. So sometime, yeah, you would have like if your what do you call it, your DNS is not set up properly, you won't be able to do this one right here, basically. Yeah.
Is it Apache?
What are you guys doing?
You're good. All right. All right. Thank you, Kevin. So basically, what I want you to do, just keep on practicing with this thing right here. Okay. Just practice with there, like look for like the IP for CNN. How do you find the IP address for CNN?
You can ping, you can trace route.
You can use ping.
What was the other one? US the lookup thing.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
NS lookup.
NS lookup.
Exactly. NS lookup, for example. Okay, and you can even use dig, dig, and it will give you like the IP address for CNN, for example. Okay.
They only give DNS.
Yeah, exactly. Give you DNS information, but we're not touching DNS right now, though. But this is like a troubleshooting tool that we're just going through right now. Just a tool.
Edward, can you do me a favor? Can you hit history so we know what command that you just used?
For KB?
Yeah, it's history. Just so we know what was going on. Oh, HTTP, she just installed that packet. That's why.
Exactly. She just installed that package. That's what was it. That was What is the port for HTTPD? I mean, Apache?
What's the number for that? I don't know yet.
843.
What's the port for Apache?
80.
80. Okay. What is the port for, what do you call it? SSH?
20,
22.
When what?
22.
22. Okay. So these are the kind of thing that you're going to memorize a little bit. Okay. Okay. What is the port for, let's say, NTP?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay. What about DNS?
So little up, so it's 53.
53.
Okay. So those are the kind of little things that we just want you to memorize. Okay. And please just do a little bit of research on this command that we went through. Okay. Look at KB, for example. I know KB is studying. How do I know KB is studying? Okay. There's a lot of things that KB is doing right now that can tell me that she's studying. You see? DU. Does anybody know what DU is? DU-L?
No.
Okay. KB, what is it? Huh? This usage, okay, for like a directory, for example. So if you want to see like a this usage for a directory, okay, let's say we do LL, for example, and we take the directory desktop. DU, I mean, we can use that's SH and desktop. Yeah, this one. Directory desktop, DU. Okay. You see right here? So DU desktop, it will tell you basically that this directory has nothing. There's no content into it. It tells you the size of that directory basically. Okay. So let's say we have a directory here that has something inside. So let's huh? KBK?
KB space. That one. Yeah.
Okay, this one right here. So we do DU and we do KB. You see the size of it right here? I think there's a way you can do it and we give you, what do you call it? The size, DU-S. Yeah, right. So DU-SH, we give you like in kilobyte basically, or the size, and we put like a number basically next to it. Okay?
They lost online.
They lost.
They lost. You said DU stands for disuse.
Disuse.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
DISSE. That's what he meant.
Who's lost online?
Oh, this.
This basically is just one command that I saw in KB history to just let them know that KB is doing some study basically. And I'm just bringing you to your attention, like this usage, DU. What is that? This one.
Thanks, KB.
Sorry.
Okay. And I saw something also that KB was using also. So if you go to KB history again, okay, you see right here, free.
I just don't talk.
You see, memory. This is check your memory basically. So KB is even ahead of the game, and I encourage everyone to just like, you know what, master what we're doing, but go to other chapters and start playing with it.
So free M stands for how much space, how much free memory you got left.
that's
Exactly.
The word free means free, obviously, and free for memory.
You see, I'm just going to KB business right here, but you see, I'm going to your business. I like this. I'm happy for you. You see? Let's say we're going to take Dodi. We're going to log into Dodi computer and see Dodi history.
God damn it.
I'm not going to do that. Okay? But that's good, KB. So people, please, we want to have like thing in your directory and all that kind of thing. Okay? All right. Today, does anybody has any question about networking? Because a lot of students say it was really hard and everything. Do you have any question? One thing that I can encourage you to do, yeah. I've been doing IT for let's say a year now. I don't know everything, okay? And I definitely don't know a lot. But one good thing is I spend time, even though I have a job, I spend time, like sometimes I go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, just discovering new stuff, okay? If I'm at job, I hear something that they're mentioning, like, oh, they're talking about Ansible. So I know at my job, we're gonna bring up Ansible very soon. I went to documentation how to install Ansible and all that kind of thing. Before that project even come up, it's gonna come up maybe like in October. But I'm learning it now. So when Ansible come, at least I can ask like educated question. I don't have to be like, oh, what is Ansible? Oh, what's the configuration file? At least I have an idea. So I don't look totally stupid. I'm not gonna look stupid, but not completely an idiot. That's what we want you to do. Okay? Please, people, help us. I know it's difficult. Some of you are going ahead of the classes and all that kind of thing. Thank you, but we want everybody to be on the same page. If you're learning something else on the side, kudos to you. And we encourage you like Kevin, okay? But we're gonna move on the same pace. I want everybody to learn everything at the same pace. Is everybody good with networking?
Nah, actually, I wanted y'all to like do the calculation one more time, like 255. Like, how did I understand it was something like the zeros and ones was an octet? Something.
You explained that one, yeah?
Yeah, you did, but I'm saying like to go and jump with it as far as like the 255, right? Like how. Like, you see how like, all right, it had like 4 sections, it would be like 255.000, right? And the 255, you have to have a combination that adds up to
255, yeah.
Right. So like I'm saying, like how did they determine that? Like,
Oh yeah. Go to I got. I'm gonna put
Okay.
Go through the G drive.
128, 64. I think 32, 16, 8. Is it 2?
Perfect.
And you got it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what we want to do now, yeah? We're going to go to the next chapter. Are we good with chapter 8? Online.
Yeah, I'm good.
Anybody in class?
Yes.
Is online good with chapter 8?
Hey, Ed.
Yes.
Okay. People, please wake up, man.
No.
Sierra is gonna ask you a question, please.
You know it's me.
Sierra.
Hey. If I'm being frank with you, I think half of us are lost. Like, are you really about to go?
No,
to
don't speak for everybody, because I just asked a question to everybody, and I just asked a question to be like, is everybody good on chapter 8? Nobody answers, so I don't want you to be the spokesperson for the whole people. Tell me what you don't understand.
Chapter 8.
But this is the second time we're doing chapter 8.
Okay, do you do like one-on-one lessons?
I'm sorry?
Do you do one-on-ones?
Do we do one-on-one? I mean, sometimes we try our best to stay here on Saturday to go over a certain thing. So yes, whenever you have time, Saturday you can come through and you can get some help.
All right, so I'll drive up Saturday. I'm gonna drive up on Saturday. I'm gonna drive up on Saturday, because chapter 8 is really a struggle for me.
But what part don't you get? 1 second. What part don't you get?
The only part that made sense to me is the math part. Like, I don't know why the math part made sense to me, like the binary and all the other stuff, but it's just confusing. Like, I'm just confused, and I don't want to say I kind of got it, especially since I know now you're going to chapter 9. Like I thought chapter 8 were three. It was like 3 pages, wasn't it?
No, it was more than that actually. It was a lot.
No, what made chapter 8 a lot? If you look at it, yeah, you have next start, and those they're using command for next start with different flags. That's it. We went basically over chapter 8, like
briefly.
This time in chapter 8. So this one right here that you're looking at right here, yeah, those are the notes for Ron, okay? But chapter 8 itself, we have it right here. Okay? Chapter 8.1, and those are the same thing basically. So this one right here talks about what do you call it? All the network manager, and we went through like the configuration files. Okay? We went through the configuration file, and from here to the bottom is just like, what do you call it? The next star command, like ifconfig. We went through that one. Okay?
So to make this make sense to us, should we just disregard those, I guess, some teacher notes that was posted?
Like where?
The first PDF that you went to.
Like the first one right here?
Like, yeah, should we
Like
just
the first one right
disregard
here,
that?
yeah, like
Some of those
some of them
questions
like
I felt like were on the homework, so it was like kind of hard to disregard.
But like over here, yeah, basically like the thing in yellow, for example, those are things that you can just like play with there. But these are really like chapter on when it comes to DNS, really, okay? We went to UDP and TCP, okay? We went through all the ports, okay? And I think Robert went through this one right here. One second. Didn't Robert go through all this, the calculation?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So IPv4, IPv6, LAN, and WAN. Didn't we go over that one?
I guess basically like, yes, you went over this stuff. You talked about it. But if you're asking me, am I like, I just feel like I don't know it. Like how you went over boot, and before you moved on from boot to chapter 7, like I can recall the whole boot process, each step. I can recall what we did in chapter 7. I could throw you commands. Like I get it. But this, I don't get it.
But how much time are you spending yourself, Sierra, like at home?
So with my study group, probably 3 to 4 hours every other day. Remind you, I still work from 7 a.m. to about 4 p.m. And then my study group will get up around 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 11, 12, or sometimes 1 in the morning.
Okay, but how much time have you spent on the network?
On this chapter?
Yeah.
Probably 2 or 3 days.
We've had like 3 sessions on this.
So if you have 3 sections, yeah, can you tell me what's the configuration file to modify your IP address of the network? 1 second.
No, not without my notes. I can't.
Exactly. So you have the notes. You just need to memorize
But that's what she's
it.
trying to explain to you, Ed, is that even though we have the notes and we're having these sessions and study groups about it, we're still not getting it.
Where you're getting, I mean, if you want to modify your configuration file, we just went to on the board right now with KB to go to VI, exit, sysconfig, network, script, IFS, ENS. That's it. And the rest is VI. What is so difficult about that part?
I mean, KB went over that, but it didn't feel like it was a discussion with us. Like we were watching her do it.
So you just want to know why we're doing it or how to do it?
I mean, like, I want everything to be tied together, you know, like in a workplace setting. I mean, I'm assuming you probably just don't have to do this in the workplace setting for you. I'm not sure. but tying it together in order for this to click for us.
Well, for example, we just give a perfect example. When you were doing your IP address, when you were setting up your VM, and Sean gave you, let's say, the instruction to build your VM, okay? And there was a section where it missed the IP address, okay? So most of you build your VM with no IP address. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't have an IP address into your VM. So what you have to do now that you know this one here, and that same mistake happened again, all you have to do, you VI into this configuration file right here. You VI into this configuration file. Okay? So let's say if you VI into this configuration file here and you don't have your IP address, what will you do? And this one right here is VI now. Just forget about network for a second. All you have to do, just enter the part where you have to enter your IP address. And this is your IP address right here. Okay? So let's say, because we skipped that network part, okay, and it wasn't in the instruction. So you have to enter your IP address, you have to enter your net mask, you have to enter your gateway, you have to enter like your domain. And you just come right here and you just add those sections right here. So do you see right here, the IP address when you're building your machine? The net mask? Yeah, so this is just like, exactly, this is like inside now. So you didn't enter back then, but now you can come over here and this is the configuration file that you need to modify to enter your network information inside here.
So the prefix is 255.
Exactly. The prefix is 255. And in some VM I've seen where they just put net mask. You can just put net mask. The 255, I think Ron explained to you, it was 255, 255, 255, 255, which equal to 36. I mean 32. 32. Okay? Yeah. But in our case, we only have 1255.0.0.0. So that 1255 equal to 8. That's the reason why we put 8 in here. Because that's the reason why, that's how the school, the instruction that they gave you, that's how they set it up basically. Yeah. Okay. We did go over last class, but we're gonna go over it again if you want to. If you have a question, okay, we're gonna go through it. All right. So we see right here and the DNS. So the way this is set up here, this is like a default setup. Okay. So if you, let's say you build your, let's say I clone this VM. Okay. And this VM was cloned. Okay. So I want to make like another VM just looking like this one right here. When I clone this VM is still going to have the same configuration file as a copy. You don't want that. You want to modify a certain thing like the IP address, for example. Okay? And you will go inside the configuration file and just modify this IP address right here using VI.
And you do this through the command line and not in VMware.
This is the command line that we use right here, like VI. I said I don't prefer to use the GUI, which is like the TUI. Yeah, that's another way you can do exactly what we're talking about right here. But that's a different way, using the GUI. So, for example, you see the prefix right here where it says 8. If you go to the GUI right here, so this is just basically like, so you go to a GUI and you do I know, NMTUI. Okay, it brings out this network manager right here, like the GUI part of it. Okay, and the NIC card, you can just go and edit it. This one also, you press enter, and you see exactly the same information that you have, like on that path that I gave you, VI, etc, sysconfig. That's exactly the same information that you have here. That's what I was saying earlier in class. We're doing the same thing, but different ways.
All right.
Okay. So this is exactly the same thing. So let's say, for example, for example, you don't want to go through that path that we set up, just like that path that we have right there. Okay. You have NMTUI. Okay. You can be comfortable with doing like this. You didn't have your IP address, and I think we did this in class. Yeah, we did this in class. I mean, Dodi, you did it, yeah? Yeah, we did this one briefly in class, okay? And this one now, you can go ahead and VI edit this configuration file right here. It's exactly the same thing that we're doing. Exactly the same thing. It's just different way of doing it. Okay?
All right, thanks, Ed.
Yeah. So what I want y'all to memorize in this class, for this class right here, yeah? And I think I gave just everybody relax, man. We're doing one part right here. What's the configuration file for your network?
-ENS192.
Okay. And if you were missing your IP address in that configuration file, how will you add it?
Go into there, you scroll that tab all the way down, and you take what's out, and take it out and put what you need in there.
Exactly. So some people don't understand that part yet. So we're trying to make those people understand that part first, okay? And then move to the next question. Okay? That's what we're trying to do. Okay? All right. Okay? So Sierra, this, what I just showed you, yeah, those are different way of doing exactly the same thing. Okay? So what I want you to memorize in this class, okay? Okay? Like your configuration file. Okay? And I would say one of them is going to be exit sysconfig network script / IFCFG / ENS 192. Okay? That's one configuration file that I want you to memorize on this class. Also, I want you to know about XeHost. Okay?
Okay.
Know about XeResolve.conf. Okay? Okay? XeResolve.conf. Okay?
All right.
Okay? All right. So this one right here, yeah? On this one right here is the same thing, okay? So I'll put equal NMTUI. Okay? I'll put lowercase, so NMTUI. Ooh. NMTUI. It's the same thing. They do exactly the same job. Equal to the same thing. And then CLI. They do exactly the same thing. Okay? So the configuration file, this is one. Okay? Also, what I want you to remember, just TCP versus UDP. Okay? What's the difference between TCP, UDP? Okay? No. I just want you to get this one out of it. Okay? What is the IP address? What is the IP? What's the definition of IP? Okay? Internet protocol. Okay? We also have like tool that we use, basically, troubleshooting tool. Okay? We went over ping. Ping. Okay? Trace routes. Okay? We went over trace route. We went over what? What else? Telenet. NetStar. Which one? Oh, NetStar, yeah.
UDP doesn't give you any confirmation that.
Exactly. Okay. So this thing right here, okay. Troubleshooting also we did NS lookup. Okay. What else we did? Somebody help me. Okay. That's not the troubleshooting, but I have to change like your host name basically. Okay. So your host name, like this command, like if somebody tell you host name, it might not be troubleshooting, but those are the commands that you need to basically know, okay? Host name, okay? And I have to set up your host name, for example, so I will put this one, so it doesn't set you up. But the command, for example, for host name, CTL, sets. I got one in my bag. Oh, you got one, okay. Yeah, I got one in my bag, I believe. If I didn't leave it at home. Somewhere, yeah. And if I put right here, I'm gonna put the name, okay? So Edward Nicole. So this is how you set up your host name, basically. Is that in there? Oh. Is that it? Okay. Okay. So this is how you set up your host name, basically. Okay. What else did we go to? Boom, 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 boom.
The host name.
No, I'm just looking for something. I'm coming back to that one. Okay. We went to what else? Yeah. This is the main thing that you're supposed to, and I'm gonna like, I have to find your IP address, for example, ifconfig, people, okay? Okay, you can also use ifconfig-a, okay? The same thing as IP address show. Okay, the same thing as IP, IPA, that would do the same thing. Are we good online? Or am I confusing you even more?
No, you're good.
Nah, this is
this is good.
Yeah, this is
okay.
good. So now I'm able to go back.
Okay.
And, you know.
Yeah. Okay. You also have like a command like what do you call it? Dig. That's to look up what do you call it? Your DNX. Okay. And TC dump. We're going to go over TC dump again. Okay. We went over it briefly, but like it's just like show you all the packages that I told you. Okay. TC dump. We're going to go over that one also, but at least know this stuff right here.
What what's the name of this that file you just did? So you can send. I know you don't want to send it to us, so we can just take it from you. So what's the
Yeah, no, you can take it. You can take it from me. I'm just going to. I call it network, and you can take it from me. Okay.
All right.
It's under my roots. Okay. We go over that one again. Okay. And in this chapter here, most of the stuff that at the bottom right here is just like talking about the NetStart, like different flags that you use for NetStart. You look at it right here. NetStart, that's NR. Okay. We can also like we do host. We display the host or domain name, basically information about the domain, just like dig. Okay. So this one right here should be almost the same thing. Host, okay? And you put the host name and it will give you domain information about the host name, okay? We did ping, we did trace route. This one, for example, this is the same thing as NMTUI, but for CentOS 6, okay? So if you want, we can copy this one right here, and put it right. Paste, okay? And I can put equal CentOS 6, okay? Once again, I'm charging my phone, okay? And then if you have any question, okay? What else we need to, like, TCP versus UDP, basically all the, like, what do you call it? Next file command. So if you look at the bottom of this page right here, the last few pages, these are like the different flags that you use for next file command, okay? List all the listening ports, okay? All the TCP port, basically, okay? So the different flag right here, they're changing. Not much. Just a different flag that they're using. So you can just go to most of the flag on each command that you have, man that command, and try different flags on that command. Okay? So you see right here? Next file, that's ST. All these. Are you going to memorize all these? No. You're not going to memorize all these. We just want you to play with them, that's all. Yeah, you see? So all this right here, you see, is the same thing about next start. See, we get the TCP dump. Okay? And what's the name we're talking about? Let's say, so not all these are troubleshooting tool, okay? I'm just taking off troubleshooting. I'm just taking like command, okay? I'm just calling it command because I don't want somebody to come like, oh, this is not troubleshooting tool.
And a host name CT out, that's just a host name.
Thank you, learn. Yeah. I'd rather just put a command to learn file right here. Okay. All right. You're gonna know like the difference between like IP and a dynamic IP. Okay. What's the difference between that one? This one also they call it DHCP, yeah? CP. DHCP. Okay? So these are like the basic stuff that you just, are we good so far? Okay. No, we're gonna send it to you all. Okay? Okay. What else do you go over? Oh, we're not going over it yet. Okay. Let's say we go to, let's say this is a documentation right here.
Can you just go over what TCP dump does? You say it was capturing packets, right?
Yeah. So TCP dump is saying like at the bottom right here. So basically TCP dump will send like packages basically to capture all the package on a specific interface, for example. So let's say if you want to capture like the packages on NIC card, for example, okay? And now I'm coming to Marlon The reason why some people tried this and it didn't work, because the name of the NICA is not Ethel. This is for CentOS 6. Exactly. So you have to use ENX, exactly. So, for example, if you do the command, let me just save this one, okay? I don't want to quit it because some people will kill me for this. So if you do TCP dump, okay. One second, Sean is calling me. Let me just tell him something quickly. Hello? Sean. What's up? Yes. No. She said she couldn't get into what do you call it? Open project. Okay, so that's I, and we put like Nick ENS 192. TCP. What am I copying? TCP. TCP. You see, and this one just showing all the packages that are being like that are communicating between like the what do you call it?
In what scenario would you ever need to like dump something?
That one I'm not really familiar with that, but we can Google it later on if we see. Okay. Yeah. Huh?
Can you slow it down?
Huh? Can you what?
Can you slow it down?
Can I slow it down?
Like whenever it's going like that. No, I'm saying like let's say you can stop it. Oh, you can't. Oh,
no,
okay.
but I mean, what you can also do here on the TCP dump, you can see like, you can put the flag, okay? So TCP dump, okay, no, sorry. So TCP, yeah, TCP dump, and I believe we can do that C5, for example, I believe. Okay, and we just do like, what command can we use the C flag for? Ping. We can use on ping also, okay? All right. So those are like the kind of stuff that you need to basically know about, like the networking, okay? The different flag for each command that we went through basically, okay? Let's see, if we go back to that chapter again, lang versus when, for example. So I will just put this on here. I will do versus WAN. Okay. What's the definition of those? What is the LAN? What is exactly? Give us an example of a local area network. Exactly. Your house, basically. The WAN is just like something, a wider area, basically. Exactly. Okay. I'm just trying to see. And IPv4 and IPv6 is just a version of the IP that we're using. Okay. So IP version 4, IP version 6. Okay.
And you said 4 was running out of space.
Exactly. So 4 is running out of space. So they're going to just like come up with IPv6, which is going to have like, instead of just having IPv4 right now, only has numbers. Okay. So 10.1.15.30. Okay. IPv6, for example, is going to have number mixed with letters. Okay.
So
and it's going.
you got a prefix.
Go ahead. So what?
That's why I was saying I didn't want to cut.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So would that number ever like keep? Would that number keep increasing?
IPv4?
Like first it was IPv4, now it's 6, and would it keep increasing?
It depends how many, because before people were just using the internet when it comes to maybe a computer. Okay. Now imagine a computer. I mean, IP. Your phone has an IP. Okay. Your what do you call it? Your watch has an IP. You have tablets. You have even IP address in the car and everything. So everything has, yeah. So let's say next time, like in 20 years, if you can have an IP on your shoes, exactly. Okay. So IPv 4. So this one, the combination, I believe, was 32-bit. I believe. I hope I'm right. And IPv 6 is going to be, that's how much I know about it, 128 bit. Okay.
Every IP in the IPv4 will be 32-bit.
Yeah, like a combination, basically. Okay. Like, so IPv6, for example, yeah, IPv4, we have exactly. This one is going to be like a larger combination. So to run out of that one is going to be more difficult, basically.
So it's like 10.1.8x dot something like that.
Yeah.
There's more stuff to it.
Okay. All right. There's some of the thing right here that, yeah. What else? Like SSS. Let's see. Okay. This part right here talks about like the WAN and yeah, UDP and the WAN basically, and the VLAN. Okay, and the IP classes. Did y'all go over?
VLAN is virtual. I learned that from the internet. I was virtual.
Virtual, yeah.
Virtual local.
Virtual local area network. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy, the white dude. I learned it.
So this one right here. Okay. And this one right here. So this is it about chapter 8. Yeah. This is it right here. And the different port that you need to learn. Okay. The ports.
Are you saying SSH?
Okay. So ports. Okay. So we can come in class one day and be like, let's say port 22.
SSH.
Okay.
These are interview questions too.
Yeah. For 1, 2, 3. For 80. For 443. For 53. For you got a lot of them. Yeah. Exactly. So you see this basic port basically. So let's say 443, 161. 20, 21, 161. 80, 80. Okay.
That's an 8.1, right?
Huh?
That's an 8.1.
I'm sorry?
This is chapter 8.
This is chapter 8, basically.
The PowerPoint, bro. It's on the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So go back one. Go back one. I know. I see the screen. You want to go back one. You got to go on the innovation.
Okay. You see? Everything that I'm tapping on the board right here is right here. Okay. So if you and your team, you go over, are you good with the TCP dump? Yes. Okay. The reason why you couldn't do it because you're putting ENS. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. And I'm just giving you like the stuff of the stuff that you should like at least like memorize and be good with. But this is not just like the limitation. You have other stuff that you need to just like go through. Okay. Yeah. Do we have any question? Or do you want to go over this one? I mean, I don't know. Whatever y'all want to go over.
Just keep putting it in our head. We gonna get it.
Okay.
You got it? No, you keep
I didn't say that. How do you know?
Okay. So basically,
How do you know you really have set a host?
one second. Dude is asking a question.
Go ahead. No.
Yeah.
How do you know when you set a host name? How do you view to see your host name?
How do you view your host name? This host name command right here. Yeah, just type in host name and we'll give you a host name. The second one is host name. Okay, set host name and you put the name right here.
So that's to change it. Thank you. That's what I was about.
Yeah.
So to change it, you put set.
We see this command, so you haven't played with it since we did it.
So if we do it right now.
No, that's not the show. The question was, you haven't played with this command? No, I'm talking to you. No, Dodi hasn't played with it, because just ask the question. But I'm talking about you.
No, that's what I was about to ask the question. If we change it, would it change our host name from local host or whatever name that we choose?
Exactly.
Okay, so you want us to go ahead and
just play with it.
Oh, okay, no.
Yeah. Okay. Sierra, 1 second there.
Yes, I'm here.
Sierra,
Yes.
are you good? Or does it make any sense? Does it make it a little bit easier?
Yes, it made it a lot easier the way you just broke it down. And then I guess whenever you finish, because you keep adding stuff. So when you finish, I just want to get the file from you.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, pretty much, is there anything that I'm forgetting that we went over like in this chapter? Like, so basically everything that we have here, if you just play with this configuration file, for example, yeah, the GUI part, the command line base, you might have to watch some Google, like, I mean, some video on YouTube to just be familiar with it a little bit. I'm talking about this one right here. Yeah, this is a little bit complicated, okay? But if you know these two already, you're good, okay? Yeah, but if you want to just be like a master at your job, or you want to just like look smart, you can learn this one also how to do it. Okay?
I had a quick question about the host name.
Mhm.
When you change it, right? I changed mine. Like, you know how to do it for DM, the list, like my name stays the same.
Which one?
So like
Oh yeah, no, that's not the name. That's not your host name. That's not the host name of your VM. That's the name. That's your name to access your VM, basically. Yeah.
Edward, can you go over the?
Is there
loop
anything
back?
that I'm missing from this chapter 7? I mean,
Edward,
chapter. Yo.
Can you go over the loop back address?
Oh, the loop back address. Okay. So the loop back address here, how do I explain it? The loop back address 1-for-1, it never changes, basically. Okay. And I think the loop back address, let me just read to this note right here quickly, okay? So I don't say anything stupid. Okay, so right here, that's why the loopback address is a special IP number, and it's 120.127.0.0.1. Okay, so let's say I think this is like I was watching a video last time, yeah, and it says like a generic IP that is assigned to any devices. Okay, I think that we used to use the loopback address back in the days for some. I didn't quite get it, basically.
That would be considered a 16-bit.
No, but loopback, this one right here.
So that's a static. That's a static IP address, basically.
That's
a static
exactly.
IP address for whatever system or interface you're in.
Exactly, for whatever system that you have. And this one is always the same. It's not going to change.
Now it's just the address. It got nothing to do with those.
1 second, yeah.
Yeah, he don't ask.
All right, so the question in class was, why wasn't that loopback address and 16? The reason being was, first off, that 127 would have to be 255 to be full octet. Octet means 8. And then second of all, this is a special number. This number doesn't have anything to do with the actual the octets, IP addresses. This loopback address is a special number, basically for any software.
So basically, yeah, it tells you right here, the loopback exists for the purpose of testing your TCP like stack, basically. Okay, so every devices. Hello?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I meant like, can you show us an example on how we can use it or test our IP stacks or TCP stack?
No, you're never going to use the loopback address for anything really though. Because let's say when you go to like your VM, yeah, you go to your VM, for example, yeah, and all of you, the loopback address, no matter where you are, is going to be the same thing. ifconfig. We just want you to know it. Okay? You see right here, your loopback address right here? Yeah. So even if you go to your home Wi-Fi, wherever you are, you're going to always have that same loopback address. Okay? And those are some of the things that if you maybe want to get like, I've never seen like at my job or anywhere like using a loopback address for anything really, but if you want to get more information on this, you can just do a little bit of research and next class will be like, all right, I got more information on loopback address, and that's how we're going to grow basically. Yeah, go ahead.
I saw the net mass on Gary's age.
Yeah. Want to ping it? I mean, for you to use it for troubleshooting, I haven't like done any troubleshooting, but we're going to do research on it, and next week you come back and we check it. Okay? Let's read about it, and you tell us about it next class, and you will be master a loopback address. Okay? Yeah, that's how you're going to go there, because we're not going to know everything. So you tell us next week. Do you want to do research on loopback address for next week? But the question is, are you going to do a research on network address? Yeah, do it. And next time you can explain it to us. Watch videos and everything and come and explain to us. How about that? All right. Somebody had a question online? Okay. You asking the question or what? Yeah. We all just want to learn, man. Okay. Just find out a little bit and just let us know. Be like, what is that?
The loopback address. Yeah, how do you find the
loopback address, for example? Like if you do IP, like you find your IP address right here. You see? It says it right here, loopback address. Okay? And this loopback address never changes. That's one thing that I know about loopback really. Okay? But how to use it for troubleshooting and all that kind of thing, I haven't gotten into that one. So somebody's going to do research and let us know. Okay?
Hey, Ed.
So, if you want to look at a question, Ed, yeah, go ahead.
Martha,
could you go, I guess, in depth in a little bit more of the IPv6?
Okay, so the IPv6 is just like Okay, the reason why they're coming out with IPv6 is because the version, okay? So you remember when you have your iPhone and you have iPhone 1, iPhone 2, iPhone whatever, to iPhone 12, and basically they're improving it basically, okay? So IPv4, that's a version, let's say version 4 of the IP, okay? And that one had like 32-bit, okay? And how did they get your IP address? It's a combination of numbers.
Right.
Okay? Okay. So it's a combination of numbers. And they're changing that because the the version 4 is running out a different combination, basically. Okay? Because now you have Apple Watches that have IP addresses, your cars have IP addresses. So more stuff will having IP addresses. So they were like, you know what? We're going to get a new version of IP, which is the IPv6. Okay.
For 128 bits.
It's going to have more combination, basically.
Okay.
Thank you so much. That's it. That's a good one. Thank you so much.
So, but is there ever? There's gonna be a point where it's an IPv. I'm assuming it goes by 2, so IPv8. Eventually,
I mean, we don't know. We don't know what's going to come up in the future. We can't talk for the future, but they might come up with a new version of IP, depending on how they run out of this one right here.
You're having a 7-digit phone.
Okay, Dodi says it's going to be quantum.
You can have a 16-digit phone, something like that.
Dodi?
Okay.
It's like your number's gonna get bigger, so your
okay.
It's gonna be like probably 16 numbers, and so.
And continue with the 2.55.
Probably different. That's why I say you might want to check on that.
Oh, okay.
Numbers and letters and it's different.
Okay. So let's just, if there's certain thing, we can probably give you a little bit of idea, and we probably don't master, so we just give you a little bit of information, and you can just go to Google, IPv4, IPv6, what's the difference, all that kind of thing, watch a little bit of videos, and you will get more knowledge on them. Okay? So this is where we want you to like just go outside of the box. Just a little bit. Okay? Because me sitting over here trying to tell you, you want to say something?
I have a question. Basically, she I was reading online, she can't get into her iPhone.
Whoa.
She's trying to get into it now.
Okay. All right. So just a little bit of research. Everything that we do in the class, let's go and find out a little bit more. Okay. What? That network file. Oh, the network file that I just created. Okay. So this is the path for that network file, basically. Okay. And if I VR into it, okay, it's called network, basically. So the path should be /root/network. Okay. So that's the path to the network file. So using rsync, SCP to get it, this is the path right here. I shouldn't tell you how to do it now. Yeah. Like the node that we just took.
What's your IP again?
Our IP is 10.1.15.30. So this should be something that you should be able to do, like, yeah, you know? Huh? Network. Okay. All right. So I think if you still need help on network, okay, we're gonna go over the same thing again, and we already babysitting. Sorry. Yeah, I'm okay, man. I'm talking to me. They're not paying me enough of this, man. On Saturday, okay, we're gonna go over this one again after class, okay, for like an hour. Yeah, we're not gonna stay here for all day, but we're gonna go over this one again. So if you want to come in, you want to go on the Zoom, okay, but with all the information that we're giving you right now, you should be able to be a little bit more comfortable with the network and not be too scared about the network. Okay? Does anybody have any questions so far? No.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of like why we're going so crazy is trying to figure out, because we're trying to have everything down fast.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to tell you all, yeah, and even Rob can tell you also, at your job, you're not going to be a master of everything. We just want you to have a little bit of an idea how to navigate through this configuration file and all that kind of thing. Just make quick changes and all that kind of thing. How to change your host name, how to ping like an IP and all that. That's it. Okay? Like on my job is now that I'm learning about Ansible. And to be honest with you, I thought Ansible was really hard. But if you are up to it, we can do a project on Ansible. And it's going to be a plus for you on your resume. But you have to be patient, and we can just go to Ansible and we can set it up, and you're going to see how easy it is. Okay? And I'm not telling you, I just saw you. I'm learning about Ansible. So you're going to come up with a question like, oh, why this is not? No, we can just like set up Ansible and make like a configuration so we can like go to other hosts and configure some file, add a user, and all that kind of basic stuff. So you can have a basic idea. Okay? And when you get to your job, that's where the real learning starts. Yeah, they're going to teach you everything over there. We just want you to have like a good knowledge and be comfortable about a certain thing that we're teaching in class right here. That's it. Be able to answer like basic question. What's run level 6, Dory? Oh, on your resume, you're going to put like you're a 3-year Linux admin. At least. No, seriously. They're going to think that you have experience already. You see? So, exactly. You see? So certain things, you just want it to come easy. Bam, 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 bam. All right. Did everybody get the file? The question? Yeah. If it was like the network was set up a DNS or set up, you can do it, but now you have to use the IP address. Yeah. Did everybody get the file? Yo, we just getting out of control a little bit.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So next class, people. Next class, what we're going to start, what we're going to do next class. Are we good before we move on? And if you need help, just let us know. Okay? On Saturday, we're going to be here. And yeah, after class, yeah, no chicken, no Popeye this time. We're just going to go straight to.
But we only got an hour though. Oh, so I don't need to get the chicken, man. Okay.
Yeah. What do you got to do?
We got to teach me.
Oh, okay. So Saturday, just quick hour, and we can go through all this stuff. But we gave you all the information that you need to go and study for.
So can I leave
I don't care what time you leave.
No,
We don't need food. Yeah. We don't need food. Yeah. All right. So next class, basically, I wanted you to go over like this chapter right here. It might be a little bit different, but just read through the chapter. That's what we want you to do. Don't understand it. Just read through the chapter. And at least know the path. Nobody talking right now. That's good. Let me finish talking, please. Okay? Just this chapter right here. Chapter, I believe chapter 9. Okay? Software management. Okay? Software management. There's certain things that you can't do. Don't try to do anything on your VM and break your VM and all that kind of thing, okay? But you have this, we put a cheat sheet right here. So basically, everything that you do here, there's like a command cheat sheet where you can go and look at those commands. And people, please, I'm begging you, look this one up. Okay? It's in a Google Drive. You can get it on Google. Okay? We did use account management, a cheat sheet for account management. Look it up. Okay? There's a cheat sheet for everything. Okay? What's the question about? Huh? IPM? RPM. Yeah. Yeah. But you need to learn both ways. Because they might send you like an RPM packages that you have to deploy and everything. Okay? But you have like this information right here, for example. So like if you read these before class, okay? Like, what is this? What software is this? Like, for example, yeah, right here. The network is on chapter, like, is right here, chapter 8, but at the bottom, you're going to see it. Like, what's the difference between YAML and RPM? You can just try to Google that one before you even come to class. So when we talk about it, it's going to be a little bit, you're going to be fluent, and you're going to be like, oh, all right, but anyway, I read it somewhere, like this RPM, and we can try to help you out a little bit, okay? Like, what do you call it? YAML configuration file. That's something that you should know, okay? So talking about patches and updates, okay? And how to create a repo. And you see like command like this right here, wget. Man, wget. You see? It will give you like a little bit of information about what's a command. Instead of us coming to class and be like, boom, boom, you see? And that's it. Yeah, and this is a very simple chapter though, like the software repository. Okay, software management. When I talk about software, what do you think about?
Word.
Huh?
Microsoft Word.
Word, so Microsoft Word.
Microsoft, exactly. Microsoft Word, for example. You see, software, okay? Linux is the machine that you created, okay? And you need software for Linux to work, basically. Like different software that you need to download to your Linux and all that kind of thing, okay? That's what is helping you to create like a repository where they keep all the software, okay? They have a library of all softwares. That's what we call a repository. You can have a local repository, that's like a local one, and you can have like an external repository, basically. That means your computer is linked to another repository outside of your local network, basically. And how do you set up the repository? That's what we're going to learn about. So right now, go on YouTube, go on Google, like, oh, a repository. How do you set up? Those kind of things should be like before classes. So when you come to class, you're not going to be totally, completely lost. You might have an idea already. Coming to class is going to be just a plus that we're going to give you. And if you don't get it, you go back and watch another video or ask question again. That's it. But when you see things the first time, when we come to class and that's the first time saying something, you completely lost. And if you don't get it, you start getting frustrated and your mind is stuck on one thing that we're doing. And we're already doing like 3 different things and your mind is still stuck on that one thing over there. Okay? So please give me advice also if there's any way I can like better myself and all that kind of thing. I'm not a school teacher. I mean, this is like something that I'm learning and I'm teaching you at the same time. Okay?
Ed, what you're doing right now is perfect, actually. That when you go over everything in the and put it in the file, that's perfect. Because that helps everybody too. Because that's like a review of everything.
Exactly. I agree. Thank you. Thank you to Sierra and all of you. And that's helped me to become better too. Okay? So please, but help yourself too. One thing that I would love to see is to see some of my students getting a job. You see? That'd be like automatic, like that'd be like a perfect gift for me right there. To see all of you getting a job Like, wow, I have this person get a job. Yeah, man. Yeah. Like I have this person get a job. Jesus. You see? So please do your homework, practice, keep on reading it. And I have this link, okay? I'm not going to give it to everybody, but this right here, okay? I'm not making it, I don't get paid for this one, but if you can go to Rowley, yeah, they have a section. They give you like a 2 weeks free. They don't need your credit card number. They don't need anything, okay? If you're really serious and you can put like some time aside, you don't have to pay for it. Just for the 2 weeks, you can go and learn as much as possible, okay? For example, you have, the good thing about this one right here, yeah, I'm a visual learner. I hate reading, okay? You go over here, they have videos that they will show you. Everything that we did, they will just like go through it step by step and give you like a lab where you can practice it yourself. So if you can sign up for this one, in 2 weeks, boom, you're done, okay? And what you can do, you can even change your email address continuously if you don't want to pay for it. You create another Gmail address and just sign up with that Gmail address, and that's it. O'Reilly right here, okay? Okay, and this one, for example, like, this is GitHub, okay? But I have different, like, playlists. Like right here, Linux, for example, okay? You take everything, Linux Fundamental, okay? And I have videos, Linux Fundamental, for example, okay? So you go to this one right here. How will I know that? What is my name? Jesus?
Everything that y'all do in the command prompt.
No, they usually don't use GUI though, because GUI uses a lot of resources. So even though you want to be on the command line, even Windows, they have like the PowerShell, where most people like real Windows admin use the PowerShell. Okay. So you see, for example, this guy right here is talking about what? Getting started with Linux, and you see, what is a shell? Okay. Little stuff like this, and terminal, command, basic stuff for you to start reviewing it again. Okay, so you have to invest a little bit into it. I remember in my class, we used to pay like all the students, we used to get together and we used to pay like, I think it's Udemy, and we pay like $30, we got like an account for the whole year. And we used to just log in and just study basically, and challenge each other. You see? The Linux Bible is also on the G drive.
I put it in the chat.
Linux Bible is on the G drive. So please, let's help each other out, man, please. This is something that's going to pay you over 100,000. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not. Yeah, you're doing something like a doctor is spending like 8 years to do in 4 months. Okay? And I hope you get a job now, because who knows? Anything can change. The market can change. Anything can change. Just get your foot in right now before something else happens. All right? And I feel like a motivational speaker right now, but I'm done. Okay? Does anybody have any question about anything? Anything? Like, for example, yeah, I don't know if you can see me online, but you have this thing right here, this pamphlet that you can get online, okay? And this one will tell you about all different commands, okay? Like quick command, like command shishi. Yeah. Yeah. Command shishi. You go on Google and just use those anywhere. Command shishi. That will also help you out. It's about, how much is it? $3? $6.95. The command shishi. Laminated so you can walk around with it and go anywhere. All right? People, don't forget, next week on Saturday, please learn something new. Just learn something new. Something that you don't know, something that the class is not aware of. And we have Marlon, who is going to tell us about loopback. But if somebody else can also do loopback with the Long Island and come and tell us what's the loopback address? What is it used for? Okay? All right. I think we're going to call it a day of the night. Thank you all, and see you. Oh, there's, it's not early though. What time is it? Because you're becoming late. Oh, before we leave, yeah, there's also a homework on the Google Drive. It should be coming to class. There's a homework that I gotta start looking at those homework too though. Yeah. And I think we're going to have a test. We can throw a test like sometime this week or next week or yeah. We still have on Saturday. Let's get a test together first. Okay? All right. So if you go to the packages, I put like a homework somewhere also. I don't know where I put it. Kippy, where's that homework at?
What is it gonna be? 1 through 8?
Is it 50?
1 through 9?
50. Yeah. Okay. So this one right here, basically. Okay. So this one we tell you, okay, one thing that you need to change here is going to be, yeah. Yeah, so change this thing right here. So everywhere you see equal, just put like the name of your.
Oh, 192.
Yeah. And basically, this one just helping you to just practice, basically. That's it. He listen to the accent, yeah, and just blame me. He's like, that's your uncle talking right now. No. Okay. So just look at this one right here. Yeah. Who said it then? Oh, this is him.
That's what we doing?
Yeah.
I'm the 26. I'm the last one. That's hilarious.
You know the book on O'Reilly?
Huh?
O'Reilly.
That's it right here. You inside.
I know. I meant like the book.
Oh, the book. You can just put Linux.
That's what I did.
You see? A Linux fundamental. You can just select anything you want.
I wanted the same one from beginner to get expert.
This right here is taking to class. Okay? Just go to that one. So just go through the homework and everything, and please keep on practicing. And one thing that I'm going to advise you, please go back and do the past homework continuously also. I mean, because you don't want to forget it. Exactly. So go back again and do your past homework and everything. Okay? And I think I threw a homework somewhere. I threw a homework. KB, what's that homework that you did? Huh? This one right here, yeah? No, that's not it. Yeah, but there's another one that I created also.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah. Is it in the book? I think Jerry deleted it. 48?
You play with Apple stuff? Apple stuff. She can't get into her.
I mean, his dog was a little bit.
What's the password? What's the password?
That's her password?
Yeah. SSH. It's missing an S. MTSSH. Yeah. 53?
463.
463?
Yeah.
What is 463 here? Do you see 463? Oh, on the calendar. Where? March 11.
It looked like we're on schedule for chapter 8.
Yeah. Okay. So if you go to the calendar, yeah, March 11, I just put a homework over there. This one right here. Can y'all see it online?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah. So try to do this homework. This one right here. There was one part where I said, KB, what's the part that said highlighted stuff?
No, 11. No. Like 4 to whatever, like 8.
Huh? Number 4.
You're gonna be at 9. At 9
Is that the file that allows me to change my default run level?
Yeah, just cut the file that allows you to change your run, the default run level. Yo, 1 second, please, people. Yo, Doris. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so if you go in your calendar on March 11, there's a homework over there that covers basically a lot of stuff that might be in the exam also. That's what we're talking about right now. Okay? 463. Okay? So just try to do this one right here. Okay? Parties. Number 19, set an attribute on. What was it?
Who is the Maximus?
Oh, PR, yeah, PR. How did I do this thing right here?
Yeah, how you do that? Number 1.
That's what we call homework. PR. That was PR, PRS.
That's J.
Not what I said. Look.
PRJS. Everything is PRJS except for that. That's a typo.
So what is the PR?
PRJS. J.
Why J?
Well, that's what you put on there.
PRIS.
Oh,
J.
I.
It's J.
Why is it J?
Because I did the homework. It's J.
But this is right there.
What does it say?
It's J? Okay.
What is it supposed to be?
PRJS. Okay. It looked like an I. I thought it was an I. Yeah. So PRJS. So do this homework and okay. All right. So this one is on the calendar.
Well, yes, he's right. That's a J. I know it's a typo within the one prior to, but it is a J.
PR, go to chapter, date on 11.
So what is it supposed to be?
You don't want to see it, you fix it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But there's 2 homework, everybody. Now, when you get told, you can take it.
All right, people online, thank you.
So both homeworks due Friday, 7 o'clock.
No, that homework was no big deal. Just do it. Just do it.
Oh, it's practice?
Yeah, take your time to do it. Yeah, this is just like a little bit of a review, really.
Oh, okay, okay.
But
So
do the
homework
homework
50 is
for-
the one that's due.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, people.
All right,
Please
Ed.
keep on practicing
Ed.
and
Ed.
see y'all.
Ed.
Yo.
You're confusing the hell out of me. So,
1 second, yeah. These people that think, yeah, go ahead.
So homework 50 is due on Friday before 7 p.m.
Yes.
And this thing on the 11th of March is what we are practicing.
Yeah, just practice that one, basically.
Got you. All right, that's all.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later. I gotta go to work.
Bye, Jamie.
All
Thank
right,
you.
man.
Thank you,
Thank
Rob.
people.
No problem. Have a good night.
Okay, have a good one, okay? All right.
Yes, work on that one, but the actual home is chapter 8.
Dodi.
Friday.
Dodi. You gotta come to class, man.
I got in the car.
Yeah. My bad. I forgot to call you. My brother told me too. I totally forgot. I was gonna call you, but I was answering a question about